What up, Raffleators and Raffle Nations? Welcome back to my channel. And a lot has happened in the last week. Guyana has not lacked excitement, and so now is the opportunity for you to come up to date, to be brought up to date on what's happening in Guyana since the no confidence motion passed on December 21st. And so this is a segment I'm calling What's Happening in Guyana.
Oh, this is my day. I'm ready to take it on, come what may.
So guys, what's happening in Guyana is the following. Charan Das Prasad voted with the opposition to pass the no confidence motion on December 21st, 2018. Since then, Charan Das quit the coalition, resigned as a member of parliament, and was ejected. So the coalition also ejected him from parliament and from membership of their list. Charan Das says he's going to form a new political party, and another group led by Terence Campbell and Timothy Jonas and Ralph Ramkaran announced that they are forming another political party with the distinction that they will not join the coalition. They said they will focus on constitutional reform. On another note, Nigel Hughes, one of the leading attorneys in Guyana, offered a legal opinion saying that 34 votes should have been required instead of 33 for passing no confidence motion. However, this was rejected by everybody, including me, except those who support the coalition government. Next, Bharat Jagdeo called for the government to resign, and this is based on Article 106 of the Constitution, which says the government shall resign in the case of a no confidence motion. But immediately following that article, Article 106.7 says the government shall remain in office. So who's right? Well, obviously, the government shall remain in office because the government offers essential services like health care and electricity and water and national security, police, and so on. If you cause the government to resign, then you will cause national chaos. So the government has to stay in office. There has been much discussion about dual citizenship. So since Charan voted against the opposition, against the government, and caused the no confidence motion, it was discovered that he is a dual citizen because immediately he fled to Canada. And there's been discussion about whether, in fact, dual citizens should be allowed to be members of parliament. Well, the Constitution does not exclude dual citizenship. So this is something that has to be addressed in constitutional reform, but currently the Constitution does not prohibit dual citizens from serving. But the biggest source of confusion in the past week has been rumors that Charan Das Prasad was bribed, that there was collusion between the opposition and a foreign power to bring down the government. Now, this is just some gossip and rumor, and there is no truth behind it so far. In fact, if there is any truth behind it, it would have to be brought out through legal action. So guys, one of the biggest issues of discussion in the past week has been whether Charan Das Prasad broke the law by voting with the opposition. The answer is no. Right? So every article in the Constitution that we've looked at so far does not criminalize or exclude him from taking the position that he took, which he declares is a conscience vote. So Article 156 says that he can be ejected from Parliament by voting or siding with the opposition, but it's not a crime, and this cannot be done retroactively, so the vote stands. But the cause of confusion is in fact a rumor going around that there was collusion with a foreign power to get Charan Das to vote with the opposition. So the question is, did the opposition collude with a foreign power to bring down the government? So this is an issue that has to be investigated and litigated in the High Court. So Article 153 of the Constitution says that you could in fact be prosecuted if you break the trust of your constituents. In other words, there is provision in the Constitution for legal action in High Court to be taken against Chandas on the basis that he broke trust with the coalition and with his constituents. But the only reason why you would want to proceed with that kind of legal action is to bring out in the finding of fact phase of the trial what collusion occurred, or if collusion occurred, in the vote. So a trial like this would be really conducted to determine what happened, when it happened, and if there were foreign influences in the no confidence vote, and then who were the actors, who were the players that were involved. So the last major issue that has developed in the past week is that Venezuelans are beginning to unify now around this whole issue of territorial dispute, because since the Venezuelan military vessel, which entered Guyana's waters a week ago, caused the shutdown of exploration by ExxonMobil, Venezuelans have begun to unify around their government over this whole issue of a dispute with Guyana. Like I said in my last video, this issue either has to be solved by war, that is, the Guyana Defense Force has to be retooled, has to receive a huge infrastructural upgrade so that we can prevent issues like this from occurring in future. Venezuela should not be able to stop our oil exploration and our oil extraction operations. But since then, Venezuelans have now begun to unite and unify around their government over this whole issue. So that is more drama, that is a fallout of this no confidence motion, and we're going to keep an eye on this and update you on it, but these are interesting times. So guys, that's what's happening in Guyana. Tell me what you think is about all of this drama in government, particularly at the time when we're looking at a huge find in the oil industry, a huge growth in the oil sector in Guyana, and an entry into the oil markets as a major player, Guyana becoming a major player in the world oil markets. You have been brought up to date. Tell me what you think. Know, in fact, that there is no chaos. There is still peace on the ground here. Everyone is still observing the law. But tell me what you think about what's happening in Guyana. These are most exciting times. Give me your suggestions about what you think should be happening or what you would like to hear more about during this time and in the future in Guyana. And until next time, later!
As she dances in the sunlight so bright, flowers in her hair, and the band is blowing